So hello ladies and gentlemen, आज हम बात करेंगे एक आम ट्रेडर के रिग्रेट्स की. Now we all know that trading is 70 to 80% psychological and maybe 20-30% methodical. In the process, जब कोई नया ट्रेडर आता है, जब whenever there's a new budding trader out there are a lot of psychological challenges one has to face. As you go up the stairs, you go up the ladder, as you grow your account, as you learn how to grow your account, there are a lot of things you need to really struggle. And उसमें से एक चीज जैसे मैं कहता हूँ, consistency threshold. Consistency threshold. Now, consistency threshold means a point where your trading has started netting out profits for you. So if you have a series of trades, you have understood how to make that consistent as a set of profits, set of trades in a series of profits. So overall, एक आम ट्रेडर जो होता है वो ग्रो करते वक्त, वो सीखते वक्त बहुत सारे regrets face करता है. One of the reasons why those regrets even exist, you see, every emotion, if you delve into it, has something to tell you, has something to teach you, has something you can build from, and you can use those wounds as your wisdom. So when it comes to regrets, why do regrets happen? Regrets happen because of disappointment, because your expectation wasn't met. Another time regrets happen. Regret happens when you have regretted an action. When you have done something you've regretted. When you have done something you regretted, that means that a part of your mind had another scenario which it expected to play out, but you chose not to act in line with it. So in a way, you broke your own rule. So when you broke your own rule, what ended up happening in the process was that if it did not work out for you, if it gave you a notional loss, that means a kind of profit which you missed out, or if you got out too early out of a trade in a small loss, then the kind of profit which you missed out, or if you did not put a stop loss, if you broke your own rules regarding those things, then those are the things which actually quantify in front of you and say, oh my God, had I not made that mistake would have saved me so many thousands and lakhs rupees. So the idea is to go into the deep depth of your regrets and find out why they happen, what you can do about it. One of the things which happen while you're regretting is that you have understood that associated the way price reacts to you on trade by trade basis. This is one of the mistakes which retail traders make, which professional traders do not make. Professional traders do not think on a trade by trade basis. Retail traders think on trade by trade basis. Newcomers think on trade by trade basis. So every time they take a trade, the way price is reacting to their trade, where the market is reacting to their trade, becomes an imprint in their mind, becomes a part of their memory. The second time they take a trade, the same thing happens. And whenever they see the price movements happening again and again and again, and if it is at all a little painful, emotionally painful, then they associate those price movements to some or the other loss they must have previously seen. The association of price movement after taking a trade with your psyche becomes a very important part of how you trade. The association of movement can be done through a method or through only basic hunch. And this is the problem when people don't have a method. When they don't have a method, they operate on hunch. When they operate on hunch, the price reacts in certain ways which they are completely alien about. And then comes a long, useless stream of superstitions and notions and useless heuristics. The idea is that each and every setup is different. Each and every trade is different. So if you don't have a system, start making a system. And I know out there are a lot of you who are watching this who already have a system, who are making their way through a system. Please try and understand one of the reasons why these regrets happen. One of the major reason is because you have not been able to think in terms of a series of trades. Well, the reason why you've not been able to think in terms of a series of trade is because you haven't focused on your risks and your rewards. So the risk reward ratio, if not one of the most important things in trading, is the most important thing in trading. Why risk? Let's take risk first. Risk is the amount you are ready to lose when it comes to trading. When it comes to volatility, you call it risk as well. But the kind of amount you're ready to lose to find out if you're right or wrong on this trade is your risk, right? In turn, your reward is the kind of reward you would get if the trade would work out for you. Now, there are a lot of people out there who say and believe and feel that they take a risk and reward trade, which is very good. Like, I have seen people come to me and say, I take trades only 1:3 risk reward. That's amazing. You know how risk reward works out. You know the concept of risk reward. But one of the things which you don't know is that is your 1:3 risk reward, all the trades which you're taking in there, are all those tested in that way? That means if something was bought and if it could make you 20,000 rupees, or let's say if it could make you 15,000 rupees, or you could lose 5,000 rupees, did you find that trade setup happening, unfolding every time consistently, exactly like that, so that it could offer you 1:3 risk reward? Or did you come across a trade entry point and you say that, okay, I'm going to sell it at this kind of reward because this is the kind of risk I've taken? The market will not respond to the kind of risk you have taken or what you decide to do firmly. The market will only respond to the trade setup which is out there. And to what extent and to what kind of momentum and what kind of direction the market wants to unfold, let the trade unfold and let the setup unfold. So when you go for risk rewards, try and understand one thing, that you have to set in mind that, see, the biggest fund managers, the biggest, best traders in the world have gone for risk rewards which are extremely high, like something like 1:5. So because we know that we're going to lose a lot of times, we might as well have risk rewards which are extremely, extremely big, 1:5, 1:8, 1:10, 1:13 in some cases. I completely believe in this. I practice it. So how does one get a very big risk reward? First of all, you need to be very clear with what the method is providing you. If you have a method which is providing you a risk reward of 1:2, how frequently those trades come across? If you have a method which which offers you risk rewards of 1:5 or 1:6, how frequently do you come those across? Whenever you take those trades, do the trades actually unfold in that way? How many times have been correct? So when you attach the idea of risk reward to how well your idea is back tested, it means everything to you from there. Because the moment people are sure about what the risk rewards are, what the success rate is, they can be clear and indifferent about how the trades unfold, because they're not thinking on a trade-on-trade basis. They're thinking on a basis of a series of trade. A lot of traders out there also face regrets who go out, and they're really nice people. The fact that they want to introspect, they want to find out what is wrong, how can I make it better. I'll tell you 2 points which you may be missing. Number one, you may be missing the authenticity in your method. So if you follow technical analysis, I'm a serious chartered market technician, I'm a serious technical analyst, I love this subject. The idea is that I go through a lot of posts and this and that here. There are major issues. There are major issues sometimes with people because they have perceived a concept for what it is, but not just on paper, not just on theory. How it unfolds in the market, what it means to the market is a big, big, big important idea. Say, for example, in Elliott wave theory, every wave has a personality. How it unfolds and what are the things which are going around in the market at that time. The microstructure of the market is extremely important. If we talk about weekly candles or daily candles, or if we talk about patterns and breakouts, each one of them have a different personality to themselves. Just because you are being able to join certain lines on the chart would not mean would not mean that you are going out there and you're going to be able to take that 1:10 trade or 1:5 risk reward trade. It does not mean that. If you have been able to do the make those interaction points and those lines and those kissing points and stuff like that on the chart, great. But at least give yourself about 6 months to 1 year to test it. And for those who have a system already, who really believe in themselves and have really showed themselves what they can do, they can really act on those analysis and those studies which they do, the kind of research that they do, they feel is authentic in quality. They also have some regrets and psychological barriers which they're facing. Well, I'd like to tell you that a big reason behind your breakthrough not happening as such is the fact that you may have not focused so much on your state and form and psychology. Until for a long time, I did not focus on my state and my form and my psychology. The only thing I used to focus was on markets. And eventually, when I realized that the more frequently I'm trading, the more I'm getting weared out, the more I'm going to understand how, it is uneasy to get back to the right mindset. So if you're coming back to the right mindset, you have to be extremely sure of the fact that your state and form is being focused upon. A huge psychological barrier is the self-sabotage bias people have. So a lot of people who introspect actually find out that they never make that breakthrough so easily because there is a part of the mind which they are soothing themselves. So if you're giving yourself an emotional balm that, okay, I will make this mistake, okay, let this become a mistake, at least I learned something, then believe me, if you are doing that to yourself, or if you say that, okay, fine, I'm going to make mistakes, all it's going to cost me in money, I'm going to make that up in another trade, but you don't act by the right hunch at the right time, you are going to invite those mistakes and learnings and not invite the profits. I'm not saying that you should completely hate your losses and you should completely go against them. But yes, you should hate your losses, not in an aggressive manner, not react to them with anger and revenge trading, but use that aggression, use that revenge in a more creative way to improve your system and your style of doing things.